Now, welcome back. This is a very interesting discussion that I told you we are going to be having, and Dr. is here with us in studio for a discussion. It is the phase 4. We're just having a chit-chat with Dr. right now, and he's telling us that there are those who have gone through the program, and now we are on the phase 4 of the program. And Dr. Yes. Karibu sana on the broadcast this morning.
Thank you very much. Let me also thank KUTV for allowing me to be present this morning to have this brief discussion to talk about the Global Entrepreneurship Training Management, which is in phase 4. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Being part of the different phases of GETM4 program.
Yes.
How would you describe this program to someone who is hearing it for the first time?
Yes, I can do that very well. First of all, let me start by mentioning the purpose. What is the objective of this program? It is about how entrepreneurs can deal with interruptions. The entrepreneurs, the higher education institutions, the industry, how would they deal with interruptions? The interruptions come in different ways, and one major one which we had seen, which is really a key factor in this project, is the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the project, again, is interesting for anybody who may want to know because of the structure. It is transgeneration, which means it brings senior researchers and also the junior or young researchers. Then it is transgender. So the idea of gender equality is very pertinent in this program. It is across the globe, and actually it is involving 4 continents. We have Africa, which is represented by Kenyatta University and the University of Nairobi. Then we have Asia, we have America, the South America, and then we have Europe. That makes 4 continents that are involved in it. There are 9 countries that are involved in it and 17 universities. So it is quite a big thing, and it is covering a large spectrum of the higher education sector.
So if I get this right, it is covering all disciplines, including those in engineering, all those people, bringing them together for a sole purpose of managing disruptions in the current world.
Very well. It is, in addition to being transgender, transgeneration, it is also multidisciplinary. The project is multidisciplinary, and we have all those people who are in the education, the higher education. They are represented in the project. So it does not matter whether you are in education, you are in business. No, they are all included. And of course, we have 2 industry partners which help us in the practical aspect of it. Yes.
The practical aspect of it, that's a very good point you've brought forth, because if someone hears about GETM4,
Yes.
it is a strange word. Now, if I want to be part of the program, how do I get to be part of the program, and what are the modes of maybe training that are in place that maybe I can embrace when coming into the board, on board on this training?
The cornerstone of the project is in higher education. The transformation, the innovations that can be in higher education. The entry point for anybody who may be interested is being a partner in one of the universities. And for now, as I have mentioned, the universities are 17 of them. So a researcher, senior or young researcher, you already have a license to join, so long as your university is a partner. or you could be a student and your home university is not a partner, but the university where you are studying is a partner. Therefore, you have a license to join. Yeah, so that is how people come in.
So it's both for undergraduate, postgraduate, everyone can be included on board.
No, so far we don't have undergraduates. We have since this is research based, we have only those who are already researchers, and that begins from PhD. Yes.
Now the program is skill based training. How do you get to identify skills and deciding that this is fit to be part of the program?
It is a continuation. There has been the third phase of it, and so this is a continuation, and it is based on it is based on work packages, and each work package has a requirement. So within those work packages, anyone can join and participate. So that is where the skills will be required.
There's something that I'm missing out on this.
Yes.
It is a continuation, right?
Yes.
So if someone is beginning it, if someone is a new person coming on board, how do they get at par with the rest who have already begun it and are now transitioning to the fourth phase?
Those who are in the third phase are the people who created the fourth phase. Us, as Kenyatta University, we joined them in the fourth phase because of the connection, the partnership which we had with the lead investigator. There's a program which we did with the lead investigator, which was financed by the British Council, and they were here at one point in time. So that is how the new people are getting in. The idea that made us come in is that they initially, without us, without Kenya, there was no Africa. And that now was missing the point of the global inclusion. And so we entered because of that connection, the network that we had made, and because we are now like outsiders, so they wanted to expand the
and
coverage.
bring Africa on board.
Yes.
Okay, now if just to mention a few examples, would you mention a few type of researchers that are under the program?
Largely, they are innovative researchers. That is again the baseline there. We are saying that we need to do things differently. And how do you do things differently, or create some change between how things had been done before and how they are being done now? It is by being innovative. And so any research that is based on innovation is welcome in that program. I'll give you a very quick example which we have in Kenyatta University. We have what we have dubbed as KUYES. KUYES stands for Kenyatta University Youth Enterprise Study. Kenyatta University Youth Enterprise Study. This is an innovation-based study which is going on. Actually, it is running parallel to this one. It's like an offshoot of the GETNA 4. And so we are running parallel, and we are going to complete almost at the same time. And this is Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor grant-funded study, which is going on. And there are several other studies that are going on across the globe. At the end of all this, we expect to have several publications, the book chapters, paper presentations, articles to be put in journals. And all this can only come from researchers. Yes.
Now, how do you get to involve those people from the marginalized area? I mean, the vision of the whole program, because in Kenya, you said it's currently at Kenyatta University, but there are other
the University of Nairobi.
Yeah, and the University of Nairobi. So how do you get to involve all these marginalized researchers across the country? How do they get on board?
We are at we are at different levels. The disseminations, we have disseminations which are continuing. Then we'll have the final disseminations, and this is an inclusive program, so it is not discriminating. It's not saying that this is marginalized, this is not marginalized. What is critical is that there is information reaching everyone. And because we are carrying out research within and without the country, we have to get involved with people. Don't be surprised if next time when we come here, we are not presenting, but we are collecting data from you. So that will already be putting you on the map of GETMA 4. Yes.
I understand that you've mentioned earlier that the collaboration is between 4 continents.
Yes.
And about 17 countries.
17 universities.
Yes, 17 universities.
9
involved.
countries.
Now, how do you get to collaborate and come to a common goal, having all these contingents coming together? How hard or easy is it for Kenyatta University?
To get?
To get in collaboration with all these people involved, because it's different continents coming together, different cultures, diverse cultures, different beliefs. They have different priorities when it comes to their research projects. How do you come to the common goal?
That is the idea, multicultural dimensions. Culture is a key issue in research, because others will at some point say we cannot join. Others are readily available to join. But one thing that we have learned, this is going to be my 4th sandpit now, the one that we're going for in Warsaw. That will be the 4th sandpit that we are attending. And there is a space. There is space that is created just for culture. You see that? Culture, exposition to different cultures. There are a lot of excursions that are put there so that you can see also the historical background of different countries, so that you can appreciate what education, particularly the higher education, is actually doing to the people. And the collaboration is meant to bring people together so that we learn what you do, you learn what I do, and then we see how we can get the mix and get the best out of that. That is what brings out what I was saying, doing things differently. Now, if you have the Korean culture, you have the Chilean culture, you have the Kenyan culture, and you bring them together. By the way, even this time when we are going already, there is a slot. We have to start somewhere. So knowing people's food is one way. Knowing people's music is one way of bringing people together, understanding their language. You'll get it in the food they take, you'll get it in their music, you'll get it in their dances, you see that kind of a thing. So we have slots for that, where we now specifically say, we want to see. You see that? We want to see how it is done in Korea, we want to see how it is done in Poland, Estonia, and the rest of it. Yes, so that cross-culture actually is enriching the project itself.
From the time you began being part of this project to now,
Yes.
how's the experience been like?
Wonderful, wonderful. We pick it from the personal experience first. Again, I'll just continue to dwell on how things are done differently. And I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot from the academic part of it, from personal part of it, and even in the industry linkages. So I have rich experience that I have gathered over the time that I've been visiting the sandpits.
Personally, did you have like a project you were doing?
With?
In the project, did you have like a research you were doing?
Oh, I am part of the work packages. You see that? The researches that are being done, the data that is being collected, they are based on the work packages. And I'm very keen on the higher education, innovation. That is where we have research, the papers generated from research, the presentation of it. Yes. And we present our own. We present also our own researches in the workshops and the seminars that we have. So yes, I have.
I'm very keen on like a specific project. The other day, I was attending the biochemical. They had an engagement with farmers, and they were coming up with this type of bananas that can withstand the changing global temperatures. It is nutritious, and it's a project that I can single out that this is a research project that I like.
Yes.
So far from your experience, is there a project that you see that this one had a really great impact, maybe on the youths in terms of the entrepreneurship, or in other fields, maybe in entertainment, in skills development of the people involved, or to the target audience that the research had?
In July last year, we were doing data collection from here. We collect data from the industry, and when we say industry, the universities are part of the industry, but then we get to the manufacturers. So we are collecting data, and at the end, when the analysis is done, that is when we can now say we did this and this was the outcome of that particular research project. Yes.
So far it's on the data collection phase.
That is where we are at the moment.
Okay, very interesting. Now, still on the training, it mentions of a respectful impact
Yes.
to the society. How would you describe respectful impact?
We have mentioned something about culture. We have mentioned something about culture, and the issue here is acceptability. Are you ready to move from where you are to the next point? And how do you do it? That is how the respectful translation comes in. That if I am to change you, I don't have to force you to change, but I have to influence you to change. Yes.
Because you have to be intrinsically motivated to change.
Yes. That's. I want you to appreciate that. I want you to appreciate that this change was necessary, and possibly it has delayed to come. Yes. But you don't force somebody that you must do A, B, C, D, which actually does not add value to another person.
So far, how is the local government institutions or the government in general, how are they taking such initiatives?
Before we get into all of these things that we're doing, we seek permission. We seek permission. Of course, the starting point is the university itself, which is an arm of the government, and they appreciate it. The government appreciates new things, innovations, and universities are key in creating change. Universities and the faculties are agents of change. So a change comes, and you need to appreciate the change, and they do. That's why they give us permission to be away.
It's a global talent entrepreneurship management. Throughout your experience, all this through the phases that you've been through, what are the major challenges that the training program has been facing?
Challenges, again, there are many. There are many, but the most important change, I would say, is the creation of the idea. Do you have the idea? And the fact that you are now in a position to create an idea, that is the starting point. And that is where we possibly are not doing very well, because we are not able to create the idea when it is necessary. And possibly when you create the idea, the implementation of the idea becomes again another challenge. And then, because we are talking about entrepreneurship, there are several, the management itself, that's where the training is coming in. The training is a big thing. So you are doing so many things at the same time, looking for even finances to do this, is it? Yes, so challenges are many.
So it deals with the training, talent training and management.
Yes.
There is a greater challenge, especially among youths and those people in the workplaces, of a possible takeover by the digital or the upcoming technology. So how is the program planning to help manage this challenge of the fear of AI is going to take up my job, or how do you skill up individuals involved in the project or the audience of the research, the target audience of the research, enabling them understand that maybe the technology is a good thing and is not necessarily meant to take over your job?
Those who think in that way have not appreciated change. They have not seen the positive side of innovation. In the Western world, AI is already in full use, and it is being trained. The students are being trained. They are taken through on the positive use. You know, we have the positive and the negative use of things. They are being taken through the positive use of AI. And sometimes we take too long to embrace changes. And then by the time you are realizing, oh, we should be in this phase, something new has already come. So you will all the time be chasing that now, and the world is not stopping to wait for you to change. So AI is here. They are not taking up the jobs. I don't think I want to look at it that way. They are not taking over the jobs. What we should do is to see what is it that we can do. You see that now that AI is here, what is our role? What is it that is going to engage us so that we remain active even when there is AI? Is it? And that is where our industries can also move many steps forward to see how do they embrace these things and make them positively used by the youth. And I had mentioned to you that, you know, universities and faculty, which we are agents of change. The moment the AI comes in, I don't know when you came here, but before, when I came here, we were writing on the blackboard with chalks, isn't it? Then we went through that transition. We moved from the blackboards to
whiteboards?
Not to whiteboard. There was this thing, I can't remember, the slides. There were the slides that we were using. You write on them or you type something on them and then you use. Then the whiteboard came. Today we are on something else.
Yeah.
Yes. And so we really must be able to grow with the change. But if you're not growing with the changes as they come, then definitely you are living in denial. Yes.
You have traversed different countries. What would you consider to be the major challenge of Africa, especially Kenya, when it comes to managing their talents and embracing new changes?
Put it this way, managing the resources. Yes, talent is a resource. And the management, generally the management of resources is not focused. It's not directed, allow me to say, for the development of the youths in preparation for takeover. Yes. And that is perfect in those other countries that I've seen.
How can we move towards solving that challenge?
number one is to stop living in denial so that we can accept and embrace change. Yes, that we know where we want our world to go, and we don't wait for someone to do it for us. We get involved in doing it ourselves. Then we can move on. Yes.
Kenyans are believed to be doing well in other countries when it comes to businesses, generally entrepreneurship, than in their own country.
Yes.
Why do you think that is the case?
System. Yes. When you are operating in a system that works, then things will move. So I think there must be some clear path or in the system so that we know when Fredrick is starting a business, he has a purpose for it, and the system should be able to support Fredrick in doing the business and attracting appropriate and adequate customers. Yes, and that would begin from the point of the registration. Again, one thing for us, including myself, when I want to do business, I want to go under first. You know that if you if you start the business in a straightforward manner, then the business will move. Don't run away. Don't run away from the regulatory factors. Just follow them, and your path will be well. So partly we don't do well in business because we are hiding our businesses. Yes, we are hiding our businesses.
So as would you consider this as part of your recommendations in the research as a global entrepreneurship talent management hub? Would you consider to bring such proposals to the government so that they can also streamline these spaces, so that we can avoid this narrative of our resources, our talents can only grow well in other countries and not in our own countries because of policies, because of regulations, because of systems, as you have mentioned?
That is definitely part of it, because we are saying we want things to be done differently. Universities carry a lot of load in doing research. The question is whether the recommendations of those researchers are being applied. But all the researches that are done by universities, they have very nice recommendations and very well directed to who is supposed to do that. So anyone who is keen on what is going on definitely would recommend the streamlining of the systems so that the businesses can run. The struggle is that the youth are not entering their space at the correct time. And even if they do, they still will find barriers. And that is what the problem is. So my answer would be yes. That is what we recommend. But already they're there. So the recommendations that we're going to make will only support what is already in existence. Yes.
So what is the plan of global entrepreneurship talent management project? What is the future of it beyond 2027? Because I understand it is on a 3-year basis or 4-year basis.
The one we are in is ending in 2027, October. Right now, what part of the activities that are going to go on in Warsaw is to review the project. That is one, the big agenda that we are going for is the review, it's the midterm review of the project. And in the midterm review of the project, we're going to check the progress. Is it moving towards achieving its goals? Is it having adequate funding? And so at the end of this project, there is going to be another meeting for the GETMA 4 to review now the outcome of the project and make proposal on whether there is going to be a GETMA 4-5. Yes.
Okay, now there's a possibility of its renewal or something like that.
Yes, yes.
But now, how do you get policymakers, stakeholders, all these people? How do you get them to be part of the GET-M4 program and be beneficiaries of it? How do you get them to be part of it?
All these things, they begin from papers, applications, proposals. The starting point of a project is to do a proposal which should be accepted, and not just for funding, it must also be accepted for the general society for it to go on. This, after the proposal, there is funding. So this project is an EU-funded project, and the UK government funded. So those are policymakers. The funders are government officials, and they are policy makers. So for us as agents, we are carrying the research and then eventually doing the policy briefs through papers. And so it is those policy briefs that now are to be used by the policy makers to pick what they can work with on the immediate, what they can work with in the long run. Of course, they cannot happen all at the same time, so they start. Yes, they go stage by stage, but they are properly involved. The policymakers are properly involved.
Now, as we bring this home, what would be your last words to the upcoming researchers, the policymakers, and the world at large concerning the Global Entrepreneurship Talent Management Training Program?
I would suggest that researchers, of course, you start from home, where you are, like the Kenyatta University. But there is one key thing, or two things that are critical. You cannot work alone. You have to get networks. You have to connect yourself, and that's why the universities are coming together. You know, they want to appreciate one another. They want to see the ability of the universities, the different universities, and see if they can form a synergy out of that. And that is what I think the upcoming researchers should do. Let them start home, but find some networks, form collaborations, and out of the collaborations, they will find partnerships. And in that way, ideas will be exchanged. Use of resources will be enhanced. Those who are now, like those who are working with us, definitely, they're already having something. I've told you we are not going alone, we are going with, we'll keep going with students, isn't it? And universities, and the young researchers in the faculty also. That is already creating networks for them. And you can't work alone. Where will you get the information from? No, you need to have networks, you need to have collaborations, and you need to have partnerships.
After this review that you are going for,
yes,
what are the steps that are expected? What are the next steps that are expected before it comes to 2027?
No, this part is continuing. For now, we are going to review and see if there are areas which can be adjusted. It's not going to stop, only to see areas where we need some improvement, areas where we need some additional funding, some things like that. Okay, but the main decision about the project will come at the end when it is closed.
When it is concluded.
Yes.
Okay, that is very much in order. Now that brings us to the end of our discussion. I would like you to give your final remarks to our viewers back at home.
Thank you very much. Let me now say my full name. I am Fredrick Ndede. I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of Accounting and Finance in the School of Business, Economics, and Tourism. That is where I am housed. And I would want to put some feelings on the viewers out there that research is a key issue in success, and research needs to be supported locally, regionally, and internationally. So anybody who has a project or a research proposal to be supported, it is important that we create some resources. I'm using the word resources, not funds. Create some resources that can support that research project. I'm saying resources because even in an office, this is a resource. Where we are now is a resource. We need this studio to give the information to the viewers there. So we need to create some support, resources to support the project whenever it comes out. But it is important to work on research.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Now,
much.
this has been On the Launch with Dr. Fredrick Ndede, and it's a pleasure to have him on board. I had promised you before we began the show that this is going to be a conversation that helps you reshape how you think about entrepreneurship. And just as you've heard, there is something called respectful impact, where you appreciate every culture, the diverse cultures, and the global entrepreneurship talent management program, that is GETM4, that is the phase 4, is one of the projects that helps you address that, the global issues, the global challenges, that is from climate, from COVID-19 pandemic that led to most people losing their jobs. So you can also be part of the research program just by joining Kenyatta University, and it's always open. If not that, you can always join, you can always get to Chandaria Innovation Center, that is at Kenyatta University, also for projects and research management. That has been On the Launch. Coming up next is newspaper review, and you can't miss that. See you after the break.